Hey guys, what's up? It's Bibby7 here again, and welcome to another RuneScape 3 vlog here. Going in a little bit earlier than I expected for this next video. I'm making one just the day after my last one. I'm here doing Divination. I went to go do Dungeoneering last night after making my other video, and there weren't that many people in the world when I got there, so I decided to come do Divination, and I've just been here. Got all the fixins out for Divination. I know a lot of people actually use the Nightmare Muzzpaw pouch for Divination, but if you have the summoning level and you have the, just the ability to use it, I don't know what it requires. You should definitely use the Light Creature. In my opinion, I think it's way better because what it does basically is, on its own, it gives you a passive 10% chance to instantly convert any memory that you harvest. Meaning it's basically like you throwing it into the rift, but you don't get it in your inventory, and it's just consumed instantly, giving you the XP, which helps you boost your XP rates and also helps you make it so you don't have to make trips to the rift as often, similar to how the Nightmare Muzzpaw pouch does it, making you not have to go as long. But if you have its scroll, which is called the Enlightenment Scroll, which are 1k each, not too bad. And the pouches are not too expensive either, only 12k each, and they last for about an hour. If you have the scroll active, which lasts for 6 minutes apiece, it gives you a 50% chance to have that conversion. So it is really, really useful, and you can just see every time my QBD peg gets a little ring around it, that's it consuming one of the energies. Or like the 120 XP drops, you don't see the energy or the memory going in my inventory. So it is definitely pretty nice, and of course I have urns with me, which give you actually a pretty decent 1900 XP drop on those. So I am currently 90 Divination here at the Luminous Wisps, where you actually can get some rep from Menaphos. It's really, really bad. Like, you just get like a plus 25 rep, like maybe once every 5 minutes or so. So it is really not that good rep, but it's okay to just get along on the side while I'm doing my div, and not too sad for it. I've also got my diviner outfit on, so I'm getting actually some pretty good XP here. I'm 185k till 91, and thankfully I do have enough bonus XP to at least get me to 95, where I will have the best wisps available in incandescent, so I'm happy to see that. Also, just a little side note, I already have the divination pet, so I'm not going to be hoping for that or anything. I got that at like 70 something. I was at the Canifis location, so I already have that. But yeah, basically just going to be doing divination probably for today. Might get a level or two. Don't really feel like doing dunge today, so I'm just going to go with the div, but I'll probably be swapping between divination and dungeoneering, and those are probably going to be my next 299s in general. After I get those, I might go ahead and go for my attack and strength and finally get those out of the way, which won't take that long at all. And I'm going to do those at Bandos God Wars Dungeon, because why not, really, I guess. And if I get the pet drop, then I'll go to I'll go to like Zami or something. But yeah, that's basically my goals for my next few 99s before double XP weekend, where I will be doing, like I've said before, crafting, fletching, construction, and possibly fire making. I did get 92 fire making the other day while I was AFKing a bit, while I was playing on my hardcore Iron Man. I actually almost got 93 as well. So yeah, I have a few clips for my next hardcore Iron Man video, but I mean, I'm not playing on it super consistently, and I don't want to make any promises on when the next progress video is coming out. I just play the account whenever I feel like it, but I have actually been able to get into some pretty cool PVM stuff now on the account, which I wasn't doing before, so that might give me some more motivation to continue playing. But yeah, that section went on for a little bit longer than I expected, but now I'm going to go ahead and talk about the stream that Jagex did today. I didn't actually watch it myself because I was at work, unfortunately, and I don't really want to watch it over now because it is pretty long and they tend to ramble a little bit, so I read the too long didn't watch on Reddit, which usually has a pretty good summary of the points they addressed. And I wanted to talk about a few things in specific, just a little bit to mention off my opinions on them and to gauge what you guys think in general. So I read a little bit here. They are actually focusing quite a bit on free-to-play, which they say is healthy for the game. People use it as a demo, etc. And I definitely think that this is true, and I'm glad to see they are continuing to put focus into free-to-play. They're even considering fletching becoming a free-to-play skill, which would be pretty crazy, a new skill in free-to-play. But yeah, we'll have to see if that ends up actually happening. But I think it's definitely good that they are going for these kinds of things. They also address the fact that Luck of the Dwarves does not work properly at God Wars Dungeon 2, which is the case, and I think has been the case since it came out, which is pretty pathetic. But apparently they are going to be fixing that, and they're also going to be adding a message to the shine in your chat, which will tell you what the drop was that the ring got you. So I think that'll be pretty sweet when they add that for sure. They also mentioned that the achievement rework has been slightly delayed. I don't know if that means it's not going to be coming until next month, or if it's still coming this month and is going to be the update on next Monday, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Apparently they found some bugs and are needing to fix them, which I mean, I guess I'd rather have it delayed than have it released in a buggy state, but it's just kind of annoying that they are promising updates and then having to delay them, but whatever, really. They also mentioned a gold accumulator, which there's a couple of types of gold accumulator from Dungeoneering, but the one that they mentioned that is coming into the game eventually is the permanent one. The ones in the Dungeoneering shop currently have a certain number of coins at which they degrade to dust. I believe the level, like the standard one, is 1 million coins, and the upgraded version is 5 million coins. But this one is going to be unlimited, which will be nice to just bring with you on Slayer tasks and such, and maybe you can even put it on your tool belt. I don't know if they're going to go that far with it, but it's going to be costing 1.5 million Dungeoneering tokens, so that is 15 mil Dunge XP for this this item. So it's definitely no slouch. You need over 99 Dunge if you're not getting any tokens from other places, so it's pretty crazy how much it's going to cost, but I guess it makes sense. Even though I'm pretty sure on old school the Ring of Wealth just does that for you, and it's like 20k, but I don't know. I don't know that for sure, but still, definitely a pretty large investment of tokens that will be. They mentioned something about the boss drop log. I don't really feel like talking about that. That doesn't. I hardly know what that is, honestly. The beach is removed on the 4th of September, which is 2 weeks from yesterday. So just be aware of that, I guess. And the cocktails for the extra experience are going to be sticking around till October, so you'll have plenty of time to utilize those and can even use them on the double XP weekend if you like. They're also bringing back the Balthazar's raffle in the fall, so I think that's pretty cool. They did that, I think, they've done it for a couple of years now, I believe. Maybe only one time, though, when I was doing it. But you can get a bunch of different things, including some pretty cool golden cosmetic items, as well as some instant kill darts, which is something a lot of people go for. I'm hoping they don't bring in the gold one again, like where you can win like a ton of GP, because I think that's a pretty lame way to add GP to the game, but maybe they will still do that. I don't know. Either way, it's going to be pretty cool. I kind of like the raffle system and just, hoping to get something when you put the tickets in. Bunch of stuff about RuneFest. The only thing I wanted to talk about here is apparently they're going to be announcing something RuneScape has been missing for a long time, and that is going to be revealed at the very end of the RuneFest as like a drop the mic and walk out moment. I honestly can't think of what it could be. Like, what has RuneScape been missing for a long time that they're going to finally be implementing? I really can't. I can't come up with a solid answer for that. If you guys have any ideas, leave them in the comments, because I'm kind of interested in that. They're also going to be releasing some timed high scores. Very strange and niche ones as opposed to what you might think, but this is just like, I guess, a sample size that they're going to be starting with and then seeing how people like them and what other ones people want to see. They're going to be the fastest QBD kill, the fastest Telos kill at 200% in Rage, the fastest medium C6 dungeon that someone can solo with doing all the rooms, the fastest Araxi kill, the fastest Nex solo kill, and the fastest large C6 dungeon with 5 people in with all the rooms completed. I'm really interested to see the 2 Dungeoneering ones, because I feel like those could vary a lot based on luck and obviously the skill of the people doing it. I'm also kind of interested to see how low people can push Araxi and Next Solos, as well as the Telos a little bit as well. QBD's kind of meh, but these are going to run for 2 months, 8 weeks, and they're going to begin on the 4th of September, so again, 2 weeks from yesterday. And after that, they're going to cycle through them all rather than having them all 6 up at once. So if you want to focus hard on one high score, like grinding down your time at a boss or getting a lucky dungeon, you can do that and not have to worry about the other ones. And they'll use this as like a sample to look at including other bosses as well as other speed things in the high scores, which I think could be pretty cool. And I believe you're going to be getting title rewards for these if you place in the certain percentile. So I think it's pretty cool. Now they also had a pretty large discussion about things regarding the unfinished business. There's a few things I wanted to talk about. They said that several things in here were considered unfinished business, including Floor 61 and Raids 2. I'm really interested to see what they go for with Raids 2. I really hope they introduce some easier or, less annoying way of getting Acto that doesn't involve having, I just hope they change it so you can do the boss as much as you want. You can only get actual loot every 2 days, but you can get the Acto even if you can't loot. That would make sense to me, and it would make Acto so much less annoying to get. But I'm also interested, obviously, to see the bosses that end up being included in that. Then there's Floor 61, obviously the bottom of Daemonheim or whatever. I don't know if that's a quest or an actual dungeoneering final floor or how it's going to be, but apparently that is going to be considered in unfinished business. Fossil Island is not, because Old School's doing that, and they want to wait until Old School's has been out for a bit so they don't sort of try and overshadow each other or get too harshly compared. They're going to be compared in the end no matter what, but they want to avoid it as much as they can. And I don't even know what evolution of summoning is. I guess people want more relevant summoning familiars in this day and age, but they said no, that is not, and apparently they aren't even considering it for anything. And then Invention Batch 2 is actually going to be coming out next month, which I'm really looking forward to. Going to make, obviously, Augmenters tradable, which is a huge thing that I'm definitely going to be excited for when I actually go for 120 Invention. Eventually. It's not that hard to get 120 because it's not like dungeoneering. I'm already 37 million XP, and that's almost my highest XP skill. It's my second highest, and I'm only at 99. So you're already pretty well on your way, and you only need around 80 some odd mil XP for it. So it's way easier than dungeoneering to get 120, and it's pretty fast XP. And obviously I just get it passively when I'm doing PVM, so having the tradable augmenters will just make the whole experience easier, and I'm interested to see the new technologies and machines they come out with, as well as what they do in terms of removing inspiration and such. Apparently the bank rework is on hold right now because of something to do with tech stuff. They just said it's something that they can't deal with because of its technical things, and I don't understand how that I don't really understand what they're saying there, but either way, the bank rework is on hold. Like I've said in the past, I'm not too bothered about the bank rework. I don't really have a problem with the current bank system. The only thing that I want to see from it, obviously, is the placeholders, and I would like to see them have more bank space if they could, of course, because I don't know, just there's more and more items coming into the game pretty much every week with updates, and it's going to make it a pretty big struggle for bank space eventually. They also talked about Slayer. 120 Slayer counts as unfinished business since the 99 to 120 range was not very filled out and was very bland in terms of its variety, which I definitely agree with. And I guess they are working on 3 new Slayer creatures currently, which are going to require 104, 106, and 108 Slayer. They're not going to be super AFK, but they're not going to be as intense as elite Slayer mobs like Acheron Mammoths or Ripper Demons. Apparently they're going to be more difficult version of Glaciors, which is pretty interesting because Glaciors are, they're pretty easy to kill, but They have some pretty, decent mechanics, and like, you definitely have to pay some attention while you're killing them. So I think that's cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're like, what they drop, and just in general. They're going to be like a group of monsters similar to the Polypore dungeon monsters or the Jadinko monsters or the corrupted creatures, soul devourers, etc. So you're going to get one task for all three of them, which is, seems reasonable. But yeah, then they just have a bunch of stuff about how they're working on it, whatever. But it's definitely something I'm glad to see they're doing. I do want to do a 120 Slayer tab in the future, and I would like to have some more things to unlock on my road to it. And then one of the big topics that's kind of been causing a bit of a stink on Reddit in the last few days was the polls that came out recently. And I didn't mention this in my video about them because A, I didn't really think of it at the time, and B, I'm just so excited for the Clue Scroll rework that I will easily vote through anything regarding it pretty much. But yeah, a lot of people have been basically coming up with the concern, like for this ice die poll, they changed the wording of it actually, so you can't see. It never said this in the past. It didn't say anything even close to this. Should yes not reach 75%, we will go back to the drawing board and select another die to poll. The way it was worded before basically made it sound like either you get this die or you get nothing at all. So that kind of created like a bit of a stigma where it's like, why would I ever vote no if there's literally no reason to vote no? Like, even if you don't like the die, there's no real incentive for you to vote no, because basically the way they worded it, either you're getting this die or you're getting nothing at all. So it's like, do you want something or do you want absolutely nothing? So it was definitely poor wording on their part, and I think it would definitely be a better model for them to go for having every single type of die that they had ideas for and let us vote. The reason they don't do that, they say, is because when they have a multi-option poll, the winning option tends to only have 30-35% of the vote. But I don't really see a huge problem with that, and they could always do what they did with the combat pets and have multiple polls. They say that this is a bad thing because of the fact that it'll take longer, but they could easily cut the current poll times in half and still get the results they're looking for. Make a poll 3 days long, and if someone doesn't log in within 3 days, they're not really into the active, interest within the game and don't really need to have a say in the updates, I feel. That's just my opinion. I mean, I don't really feel like you can even say it's like no lifing. If you don't log in for 3 whole days, then you're not really super active into the game, besides like an outside issue with like, you're on vacation or something. So that's just my opinion on it. I don't know. I think they could easily just have a multi-option poll and narrow it down, but shorten the length of the polls, and it would just be perfectly fine. But apparently they're looking to switch over to doing more surveys in the future, which I would definitely be fine with. But apparently they think that us as a community need to be able to say no more if we don't like an idea. And I don't understand how they can say that it's our fault that their poll system is garbage. Like, this shouldn't be the way you really poll stuff for the game, because it makes you, it's like, do you want this cool, potential wicked rare item that you could maybe get from a treasure trail that kind of looks pretty cool on some armors and stuff, or do you want nothing at all? That's the way it was worded before. This new wording makes more sense now, because it's like, we will, if you don't want it, then we'll go back to the drawing board and come up with a new die. But my point, the point still stands, obviously, because it's not making you re-vote or anything. So I definitely think they need to reconsider the way they do their polls, because it's kind of just common sense, really, that you shouldn't just have a yes/no for something like this, in my opinion. But yeah, that's basically it as far as I know. One more thing. They also said that they don't like doing multi-option polls because even things that don't win might be semi-popular, and people will be like, well, this was on this poll, I know it didn't win, but I still want it, where is it? And then, it'll get like a following, and people will be like, what the hell, and get all pissed. But people are going to get all pissed regardless, like, I feel like. So I don't think it's a huge deal what they end up going for in terms of having multi-option polls. But yeah, that is that's basically it from the stream that I wanted to talk about. Let me know your guys' opinions of these topics in the comments down below. I'm interested to see what you have to say and have some discussion on these topics. And yeah, I will probably be making a new video later on in the week about some other stuff. I don't really know. Don't have any topics in mind just yet, but going to be skilling here at Divination for a while. Probably won't be able to get 99 this week at all because it is pretty freaking slow, but hopefully before too long I'll be able to hit this 99 and then pretty much don't have any really tough skills in my way after that, besides maybe rune crafting. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, you guys, and I will see you in the next one.